Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Gray, and we're just plain living here.
Good morning, John Gray.
Hi, Peggy Burton.
How many times have I said that?
How many
Good
times?
Good morning, John Gray.
How many years? How many years has it been?
It looks like we have a full house
since
today.
we've been together, my friend.
Let's don't write a
telling the stories of music and fun for all of our folks in their living room. Glad you're there. We're glad to have you.
Who did you remind me of then? The guy that used to do the children's show, you know, he would start.
Art Linkletter?
No, somebody else. Anyway.
I'm reading a book. Candy, my sister, my sweet sister-in-law, Candy, gave me, or sister, she's the only sister I've got other than you, gave me a book on the big band era.
Oh, great.
And it's written by a guy who was the first guy who wrote music reviews for Variety in New York City.
How interesting.
And it is absolutely amazing about all those bands and how wonderful the musicians were and everything. I'm blowing through that book just unbelievably.
That was nice of her.
Oh, it's wonderful. She always buys me a book or two for something for my birthday. She brought that in for Father's Day.
Candy's a keeper.
Candy's a keeper, and I want to thank her. You drive by our location on Jackson Street in between Ropers and Tri-County Bank, and you'll see two big pots on the porch steps, and Candy comes every year and plants our flowers out there for us. So
nice.
we want to thank her for that.
Does she do anything about all our cats?
All the cats are all in the back.
They're all
We're
fed
just trying
now,
to keep
aren't
from
they?
running over them. Little cats, big cats, cats everywhere.
Yeah, this is a cat house. If anybody
yeah, we got a cat
anybody
house
wants
here.
a cat, come on down to the studio.
Hey, you know, my buddy Charlie Allen called last night, and he's got a young lady that he brought in today. They came all the way from Florida to cut some sides in Nashville yesterday, and they're going to be on the show and talk about her journey, as so many young people are on that journey to get their music heard in Nashville, Tennessee. So we'll be glad to have her on the show today.
And it's not always easy to be
they're
heard. It's a
coming
struggle.
from all over the world to Nashville.
That's right.
The competition is stiff.
Very stiff.
And you know, we're very proud to have been here 30 some odd years and helping young people and all people get a little airtime to promote what they're doing. Sure are. So, and speaking of that, Kat Murray's going to be on today, and this is going to be, she's doing a fundraiser for Jack Farah Elementary Playground, and this is his story told by her. This is the 18th time she's done this show.
I always liked the way she came up with his story.
His story. And she is a Michael Jackson fan, and it is an absolutely wonderful show. This is going to be at the high school auditorium, July the 12th, and Kat will be on a little bit later, and we'll talk about that. And then we need to remember the Tullahoma Regional Independence Day celebration. That will be July the 3rd, music and fireworks starting at 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., Grider Stadium and Fraser McEwen Park, Big Springs Avenue. So that's our wonderful fireworks show.
I hope we have good weather.
It'll be great.
Is it rain or shine? Is it one of those rain or shine shows?
Pretty much. I guess. I don't know.
I don't know how dangerous firecrackers are in the rain.
But I know all the firecracker stands are up, and Fran the other night said to me, "Did you just hit the wall?" And I said, "No." She said, "Well, what's that sound?" I said, "What sound?" Of course, I can't hear a train. And she said, "Oh, it's firecrackers."
Already.
So the firecracker stands are up, and so your animals, be protective.
Oh my gosh!
Your animals.
Put earmuffs on your dogs and cats.
Yeah, dogs. Some of them it doesn't bother, but some of them it drives them crazy.
I know.
So
it's a hazard.
Dottie usually goes outside at night when we usually don't get home till 8 o'clock, 8:30, something like that. And she usually goes out and if she's not out already, and takes a little run. Well, the other night she went out, and it wasn't, she usually stays out 30 minutes, 45 minutes, something like that. It wasn't 5 minutes. She was up on the windowsill wanting inside.
Right.
She didn't like that stuff. So, hey, we're going to be quick here because we got a lot of folks to get on.
What have you written? Did you write about
this is
this
my,
week?
my prompt. One of the guys at the writing group we have, Left to Right, over at First Christian Church, Tuesday night at 6, said write something about the wind.
The wind.
That's all of us were given a chore. So here's mine. Wind, oh, that fickle wind. It can be an enemy, it can be your friend. Can mildly fill your sails and take you safely home, or violently rip the cloth off the mast and crush you on the stones. A sunny breeze while you're on your knees building castles in the sand blows its night's refrain over the porch swing as I tenderly hold my love's soft hand. Then when the next it shows, it with vengeance blows, throwing trees and buildings down, while parts and pieces of its wrath fly all around. But I guess my favorite of them all comes without a care, cruising around with the T-tops down, with the wind gently blowing her hair.
Sweet.
Wind, oh, that fickle wind. It can be an enemy, it can be your friend. Wind, oh, that fickle wind. P.S. Well, I finally figured out how this tale must end, so I'll spin around, hike my leg, and break wind.
Oh, good grief, John.
All right. With that said,
You were struggling.
Don't you dare. We'll be back after these messages.
I want to invite y'all to come by Clayton's, downtown Tullahoma. We try to serve the community, the area, and we try to help people with their feet and comfortable shoes. We still measure feet. We have a great new arch mat. We have insoles. Please come see us at Clayton's and let me help you find some comfortable shoes for those achy feet.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton's Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
STEM is everywhere, like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with trisodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that can be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker boards.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at shecanstem.com.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop with Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration, your #1 hometown HVAC company. We offer dependable and reliable service on all your HVAC equipment. We also offer high-efficiency trained cooling units. Call us for your cooling needs. Your comfort is what we do.
It's summer, call Stroop.
Gracie and Pedro might not get along so well.
They're standing on my tail.
But there's one thing they agree on. There's a right seat for everyone.
Oh, that's the good stuff.
Whether you're a dog,
Hold on, Pooch.
a cat, a fish, or a rat.
And I'm a ferret.
Be sure to travel safe.
How can you be so sure?
I'm absolutely positive.
On your next adventure, make sure your children are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at NHTSA.gov/the right seat.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a friend back here today, Stephen Anderman, and we're going to talk about a field day.
Yes. The Middle Tennessee Amateur Radio Society will be, in conjunction with about 40,000 other ham radio operators across the U.S. and Canada, will be setting up essentially an emergency communication station at Old Stone Fort State Park.
Right.
We will be on the air for 24 consecutive hours from 1 p.m. Saturday, this coming Saturday, the 28th, to Sunday, 1 p.m., the 29th.
How many of y'all are there?
Well, we have about 75 people in the club, and there are probably 45 of us that will actually participate in the drill with setup, with actually operating on the air, logging the contacts, preparing meals. You know, a lot of things are involved. Tents that have to be set up, canopies and so forth. We need to have coffee.
How many of you are there worldwide?
Worldwide, I could not answer. Probably in the U.S., about 750,000 licensed operators.
Licensed operators.
Correct. We have to pass an FCC examination to get our license, and each of the 3 classes of license offer different operating privileges.
Right.
The technician class offers you some Morse code in the high frequency or international radio bands, but mostly VHF and UHF spectrum voice communications. That is the entry-level license. We have the general class license, which provides much more in the way of spectrum usage, voice communication on the international bands, and then the extra class, which is the very difficult, highly technical license examination, provides a little more operating freedom.
Have you ever watched the Die Hard movies?
Yes, yes.
Have you seen the one with Warlock in it?
The one with Warlock.
The one where they take these kids that have all this knowledge, and one guy's breaking everything down because they go into this kid's basement, and the guy Die Hard, what's his name? It's in all those movies.
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis. He's looking around and he sees a ham radio, and he said, "What?" You know, they got all this high-tech equipment, and he said, "What?" He's laughing at this, and this kid goes, "Don't laugh at that. When all the rest of this stuff breaks down, that's your last chance right there."
That is correct.
It's the ham radio. People don't realize that these computers could just disappear.
The internet could go down, the
instant.
cell phone network could go down,
Yeah.
and ham radio will be there.
We'll be there.
We have the capability to operate from car batteries, from solar power, from portable and full home generators. Part of this field day that's coming up this weekend is a test of that ability.
Right.
To set up what is essentially an emergency communications station in less than a day, get it on the air, operate continuously for 24 hours, and then break it down. The field day itself is an interesting event in that it's also a contest as well as a public service event and a test of emergency communications.
Now, you have a radio voice. What do you do?
Nothing right now. I'm fully retired. Actually, I worked for an accounting firm for many years. I had another position where I did computer work, and my last job was at the FM station in Lewisburg as the morning DJ.
There you go.
So I had done some broadcast radio work in high school and shortly after high school, and got away from it because I found out I was not Don Imus, I was not Howard Stern, and I was never going to make that kind of money.
Right.
So I got into some other fields.
Very good, but you have a great voice.
Thank you.
You know, and so what we need to realize is what you said. When everything else dies.
When all else fails, there's amateur radio.
That communication band is something that's natural.
It is.
It never goes away.
What's interesting is that radio waves were actually discovered in the 1800s, but weren't really fully put into use until Marconi's first transatlantic Morse code communication in 1901. Development went very quickly from there. A lot of people, there was no regulation back then.
Sure.
A lot of people got on the air with their own homemade stations, and eventually you had commercial broadcasters. We think of the first broadcast station, KDKA in Pittsburgh, which carried the presidential election results that night. And broadcast radio just was kind of a wild, wild west for a long period of time, because we had stations going on all over the country, and they were broadcasting on top of each other and with a lot of power to reach the entire country. You had stations like WLW in Cincinnati that were on with 500,000 watts.
Right.
The maximum now is 50,000 watts. You had a station in Schenectady that was experimenting with 1 million watts. We still have today broadcast stations in Mexico with mega power transmitters that you can hear all over the
Wolfman
Southwest.
Jack was over the border.
That's correct. That's correct.
You know, and the thing about it is that I'm reading a book that my sister-in-law gave me about the big band era, and how that music so dominated the music scene. And it was around that same time when the radio communication started, and that was a big deal.
Well, you know,
to have those big bands on the radio, and they do half-hour shows or hour shows every day.
Well, a lot of the comedians and musicians from back then that we
Vaudeville
really
people.
revere today were involved in that. But what's interesting is that the big bands evolved in part because of the frequency of the music they were playing fit into an AM broadcast radio slot. Today we have FM stations, which was developed by Edwin Armstrong and put on the air late in the 30s and 40s. And that has a wider bandwidth. Thus you find that you have a broader range of music that's played in full fidelity on the FM broadcast band.
There you go. Well, this guy is full of information. Obviously, you know, you could have a conversation with him for a day, and it would be interesting to do that sometime. But right now, give us one more pub on the field day, where it's going to be, times, and what all is going to happen, and we get out of here.
All right. The Middle Tennessee Amateur Radio Society, based in Tullahoma, will be setting up a ham radio station. We'll be operating about 5 transmitters from Old Stone Fort State Park this Saturday, July 28th. We go on the air at 1 p.m. and operate for a full 24 hours. We'll be off the air Sunday at 1 p.m. We will start setup at noon this Friday, but most of the setup will occur starting at about 9 or 10 o'clock Saturday morning.
Sounds good.
The entire public is invited. If you'd like to
There'll be food out there?
We'll have
some.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll have the opportunity for people to come in and get on the air. We can put you on the air with a licensed amateur. Send a radiogram to family or friends.
Oh, very good.
And we'll get you involved. We'll have a lot of information available about the activity.
All right. Stephen.
John, thank you very
much, buddy, and good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
And don't forget that wave. Bye.
This place, where you grew up, where your memories were made, and where your dreams were born, where your neighbors stop to say hello, and where you're always welcome to stay a while.
Yeah.
Where your Fridays are spent under the lights, and where Saturdays are made for the water, where you can feel good about a hard day's work and take pride in a job well done, where small business makes a big impact, And home is always a sight for sore eyes. And where the best things in life, well, the best things in life are the little things. Tullahoma Utilities Authority. Power in community.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop with Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration, your #1 hometown HVAC company. We offer dependable and reliable service on all your HVAC equipment. We also offer high-efficiency trained cooling units. Call us for your cooling needs. Your comfort is what we do.
It's summer, call Stroop.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
I got to get into this fast. Greg Gressel, I'm so glad to have you here, Chairman, South Jackson Performing Arts Center, and we
Thank
have
you.
Such great news about getting the Arts Center, Fine Arts Center, and let's hear about what we need to do.
Yeah, we are super excited to kind of bring that in underneath the umbrella. In case anyone was wondering, Tullahoma Fine Arts Center is now being operated and controlled by the South Jackson Civic Association. That is our umbrella company that that handles the performing arts, Miss Tullahoma, TEDx Tullahoma, the museum, and now the Fine Arts Center. The Fine Arts Center will be kept as a separate 501c3. It will have its own EIN number. It's still its own separate entity, just ran by the same board of directors. And so the same board of directors for South Jackson.
For South Jackson.
Yes. And so we're super excited about this increase in our footprint, this marriage, so to speak, of the arts and what it's going to mean for our community. And we've had a lot of positive feedback from the community, and we have put it out there that we need to raise some money.
Dollars.
Yeah, we need a few dollars. The capital campaign piece that we put out there did state that we need $51,000, and that's really a stabilizing amount of money. We've got several issues that have to be addressed before we can bring people in the building.
Of course.
And overall, the building's in wonderful shape. And we've been in contact with a lot of artists, local artists. So exciting, they're excited. But we need to raise this capital money first to replace some HVAC systems and to do some repair work that would keep everybody safe. So,
do we have some fundraising ideas?
Well, we do. We have some fundraising ideas from some of the artists that have already approached us, and that we'll do that probably after we get stabilized. But we kind of got to get stabilized first, and then we'll do the fundraisers to kind of help us get on our feet and get things rolling. We're looking forward to some great classes and those kind of things. We just finished last week. We did our first art camp with us at the Ram, at the Helm, and
that went really well,
it went
didn't it?
extremely well. We only had a couple of weeks. to kind of set the whole thing up and get kids, and we got a great number of youth that wanted to participate, and so we're looking forward to even building that in the future. But I guess that's our first activity was an art camp for youth this summer.
That's awesome,
with the Fine Arts Center. So if you'd like to give, you can contact us at South Jackson. You can call South Jackson at 455-5321, or you can call the Tullahoma Fine Arts Center at 455-1234.
And all the money that you give or donate is tax-free.
Yes, I mean, these donations are where we are a 501c3, and so if you send money, you can send it to South Jackson, but write the check to the Tullahoma Fine Arts Center, because we want to know exactly your intention.
Good.
So
I'd like to see that grow. I'm so excited about it, because I've always felt honored to live near a community that had the arts at the top of the list of things to do.
Right, it's a wonderful thing, and this is not a foreign concept. In most communities our size, and even much bigger than us, Murfreesboro and a lot of larger cities, the arts are all underneath one umbrella. They might not be under the same roof, but they're all underneath one umbrella of management. So we're looking forward to the opportunity, and we're ready to hit the ground running. So we ask that the community would help us and call us or come by and see us if you'd like to give a little. If you know someone that might want to donate their time or their abilities to do some repair works and things that need to be done, we're looking forward to it. So come see us.
And just for the record, we still have a few seats for sale, don't we?
Absolutely. I mean, actually, we're going to keep
that's another.
Yeah, that's another whole thing. Well, and we can jump into that with South Jackson. I mean, we're going to keep the seat honoree possibility open for a long period of time.
Good.
So we're looking forward to that continuing.
And
on.
I know there's a play opening this weekend.
There is.
Shakespeare.
The complete works of William Shakespeare, and
awesome.
abridged.
Yeah.
It is so funny. I mean, if you want to laugh, you want to have a good time, you need to come see the show this weekend. It starts Thursday, the 26th, and goes through Sunday. It's 7 o'clock each night. There's not a matinee on Sunday. Sunday show is
and
also 7.
And it's in the outdoor theater, which is in the back of the building.
It's in our courtyard stage. So this is our Shakespeare in the Park.
Well, is the parking lot finished?
Oh, no, not even close to finished. So we will have signs directing people. They'll come in the front door of the building just like they always do. We'll walk them down the hall.
Go
and
down
they
the
can
hall
go into
and enter that way instead of coming down parking in the back. So
yeah, we're getting a new parking lot on the south side of the building. For those of you who are wondering what's going on over there, there's a new parking lot going in on the south side to help us with our traffic issues and our patrons. Yes, the city's helping with that. Oh, there's the information about Shakespeare.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a lot. It's going to be a lot of fun, and that's on our courtyard stage. And it's our first Shakespeare piece outside, and we loving that. That whole Shakespeare in the Park is a thing, and we are Jackson Square Park. People don't know that necessarily, but that is a city park there. We're Jackson Square Park.
All right.
And so that's going to be our first Shakespeare in the Park piece. And looking forward to it.
This is rain or shine, is that correct?
It will be, and we do have the option to be able to move into the main auditorium if we have
some finagling, but it can be done.
Yes, we'll make it work if we need to, but it will be rain or shine. The show must go on.
I love it outside, though. Don't forget to bring your chairs.
Yes, it is a bring your own chair. You can buy tickets in advance at southjackson.org.
You can get drinks and snacks.
You get drinks, snacks. The bar will be open. The concessions will be open. We'll have all the amenities. But we want to have you come out and have some fun with us and laugh. It's going to be great.
Everybody needs to laugh.
Yeah, and don't get, I know that we're going to have a lot of questions. We'll get a lot of phone calls because we always do. We've got all that on the south side of the building happening, and then today or tomorrow we're getting a new roof on the auditorium. So, so it looks really busy around there, but we're going to try to keep it all on the south side of the building so that we can, the main side of the building.
I'm glad to hear about the new roof.
Yes, it's going to be great.
I guess we've covered most of what we want to do, right? Anything else you want to bring up?
We're just letting people know Seussical the Musical.
Oh, yeah, that's this summer.
Starts our new season. It starts the 11th of July. That's not very far away. So the 11th through the 20th, it's 2 weekends on the main stage. Massive cast, probably about 60 in the cast.
Seussical the Musical.
Seussical the Musical. Our whole season coming up, this new season starting here, and you can get season tickets. Call the office. You're going to hear a lot about that. Season tickets will be sold probably for the next 3 or 4 months.
And you get a good bargain when you buy season tickets.
You do.
I think you can pick out the number of
you
shows
can pick out the number of shows
see.
you want to see. In the season, you get something for all of the shows or just a portion. There's a lot of different options on the season ticket package. But Seussical the Musical is our first production in the new season, and so we're super excited about it. It's going to be a great show, and a lot of our shows are very literary this year. So you'll hear us doing a lot of things in conjunction, maybe with the local library, and some fun things happening that way.
That's great. So there's just so much going on, and I have to thank all our producers and directors and backstage people and sound and people that other people never see.
People that
we have
people
a
never
fabulous
see.
crew
We got a
of
team
volunteers
of
that work hard
people.
every day and night to get things done.
Absolutely.
So what do you do in your spare time?
Spare time? What's that?
What's that?
No. I work hard but play hard too. So.
Good. An occasional trip to New York keeps you alive.
keeps me going. Occasional fun weekend to New York City. So
anyway,
and or some spot out in the woods. It's always nice to get back to one of our many parks,
events,
American parks. So
anyway, keep up the good work. I'm so proud of the advancement of South Jackson Performing Arts Center, and now that we're getting the Art Center back on its feet, I am thrilled. We'll be back with all kinds of stuff.
When asked why I go with Light Tube, well, the answer is pretty simple. In 1946, a company was formed to provide phone systems and nurse call systems at an affordable price. That company would continue to grow. In 2000, that communication team realized the dot-com bubble would provide power, flexibility, and efficiency to house voice-over internet phone services. So they built their own platform and installed their first voice-over IP system in 2001. While Host My Calls was getting started in 1946, a year later, in 1947, saw the beginning of the Tullahoma Utility Authority. They would start providing electric power to homes and businesses throughout the entire Tullahoma area. In 1977, as more services were needed, the current building was built to provide both power and water to meet the needs as Tullahoma's growth continued. And in 2008, Tullahoma would venture into the world of fiber optics and start providing the strongest internet service in the area at affordable prices. With the history of these two companies providing dependable service, selecting Light Tube for Host My voice, text, and video to run over was an easy choice. Call today, 931-581-4411, and start experiencing great communications.
Hi, my name is Ringo. Here at Barkview Senior Living, they're human friendly. That's why I love it here, and so does my senior human. When they want a bite, they get chef-prepared meals, and so do I. Movies in the theater, day trips, walks on the trail, and other senior humans to play with. The grass and the grounds are exquisite. It's everything my human needs to be healthy and active. Barkview. A Parkview Senior Living. For your dog's best friend, you.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. Of course, it's awkward to talk to kids about the dangers of vaping. Hey, bestie, how sketch is me? It's hard to get their attention. Ready? Go. Yes. Look at that. Yeah, you even turn yours over. So if you want to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, you got to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
We teach Parkinson's patients how to move big and not let the Parkinson's slow them down. I've had patients I've treated in-house that could not even stand up, could not roll over in the bed, left the facility walking with a walker, have come back to us in outpatient and continued their big program and are now completely handling life. The success of the program is just phenomenal.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got a call last night from a buddy of mine. Been around for a long time. We've been friends for a long time. He's a great guitar slinger, great performer. He and I have written music and songs together for years. And every now and then, my buddy Charlie Allen calls up, and I know when he does, he got something special going on. And so he told me that he had a young lady that he's working with in Nashville, and she's with us today. That's Emma Frogette. Hi, how are you?
I'm good, good.
And now, Charlie and I just blew through a lot of the stuff. You live in Florida.
Yes, I do.
And you come to Nashville
every couple of weeks.
Every couple of weeks.
Just do a couple of things here
Do
and
a couple
there.
things. Are you cutting a new album?
I'm not cutting an album, but I am cutting a couple of songs with Charlie and Jeff Huskins over at Soundstage. But we got to do that yesterday, and that was pretty cool. So.
Okay. So you don't have a record deal yet?
Well, not a,
sort of, maybe, kind of.
Sort of, a little bit, but I've got a great team behind me and great friends and family who have kind of all helped make this whole entire thing happen. So
when did you start singing?
I started singing around 17.
And you're 19?
I'm 20.
20.
I'm 21 in August.
21 in August.
Yeah.
Watch out, Music Row.
Yeah. My mom was walking in the house, and I love listening to oldies. It's kind of just my whole entire personality, besides country music, is oldies. I love it. I could sing it all day long. And she walked into the house and heard me singing My Way by Frank Sinatra, and she looked at me like I was crazy. And it kind of, from there, my entire music career has just been nothing short of.
So at home, excuse me, at home, do you have a band you work with?
Yes, I do. I have a three-piece band, and we're actually playing a 4th of July festival, which will be really cool. I'm excited for that. We have rehearsals tomorrow, so we're heading home today, and like I said, rehearsals tomorrow, so it'll be fun.
Right.
My guitar player, my lead guitar player is Gabe Trayer, and my drummer is Max Clark. We call him Chopsticks. And we have our bass player, Tata, and we'll be like, ta-ta, and all that other stuff. Yeah. And so it's a great band, and I love playing with them.
Now, have you known these are any girls in the band?
No.
Nope.
Nope.
All boys?
All boys.
Okay. You known them for a while? Are they
No, we kind of
school friends or just music friends that you've run across?
We kind of met them like through a music website, and from that we've kind of become a band, and now we all get along really well, and it's
good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. So what's your type of music do you sing?
Well, I love traditional and I love country rock, and my mom was kind of the country person, so every time I was in her car, it'd always be country music, and then with my dad, it was always rock and roll. So I'm kind of like a mixture of the two of them, and that's kind of what I do. But really, the music just speaks for itself, and
Right.
you know.
And you write.
Yeah, I do.
And do you have writing partners, or do you write singly?
I have a few. I write a lot by myself because I'm kind of at home. I'm not here all the time, but I'll do Zoom writes and stuff like that. But I've got a lot of great people up here that I write with all the time when I'm up here.
So, are you having fun?
Yes, I love writing. It's a great thing, and I get to tell stories, and that's the one thing I love about country music. It's why I chose it. Whenever we were kind of trying to figure out what genre I was going to do, other than oldies, and I've grown up on country music, and so that's kind of part of who I am, and I've always loved the stories that people tell through country music. There's some great new country music that's coming out where it does tell stories, and then I love listening to that stuff. I could just listen to Tough People by Drew Baldridge all day, or if I'm listening to old country, I love When I Call Your Name by Vince Gill. It's one of my favorites, and I love singing that all day long. And Any More by Travis Tritt. Like,
right.
They all just tell a story. And
well, that's what, you know, that's the kind of stuff I write is stories. And I think one of the things that we're not doing is we're not telling those stories much anymore like we have for years and years and years in traditional country music. And a lot of the stuff is, and I understand, you know, you've got a crowd of 70,000 people, and they're wanting to party, and so that you get that rhythm going, and you get those 4 or 5 words that they can all scream, and a rockin' hot band.
Yeah.
You know, and you entertain. It's entertainment to that specific group of people.
Yeah.
But there's a whole lot of us, in my opinion, that still want to hear, even if you're a rockin' country performer, you still need to have 2 or 3 of those story songs where you can walk out with that acoustic guitar and sit on a stool and look them dead in the eye and make them cry, make them laugh, make them remember the wonderful times, the wonderful things about life.
I got a few of those that I've written, and they're not recorded, they're not out yet. They're just songs that kind of play, and I've had people come up to me and talk to me about those songs because they're like, they hit them in a certain way, and to me that means a lot. As a songwriter, like just as a songwriter, it kind of hits, and then I get to tell my co writers about that story, and they're like, that's awesome. The songwriting part, it means a lot to me, and I love singing, so it's kind of just the world itself just makes me happy.
One thing that I want to say to you, and I did earlier, is the most important thing you can do is remember who you are, and don't let anybody change you for what they think you need to be. You remember who you are, and you stay you. Because if you don't make it, it's not because you didn't stay committed to yourself, and you'll never be ashamed of being who you are. Don't ever be ashamed of who you are and how you want to tell your stories, because you get to do it. The person who's telling you something else is telling you because teachers teach because they can't perform. You know? Mm-hmm. And you're a performer. You're an entertainer. I can see it in your eyes. You know, and don't let anybody take that away from you, okay?
No.
Okay. Now, Charlie said you're going to come back. Y'all are going to come back maybe on the 14th?
Well, we're coming up here. We're going to be recording a couple of songs with him and Jeff, like finishing out what we started yesterday. And then I'm also up here to record 2 other songs, which I'm really excited about those. And then we'll be playing Big Damn Music Jam over at 3rd and Lindsley with my band here in Nashville, so that'll be cool.
So you have a band up here as well?
Yeah, well, it was put together by Joey Scrima up here. I love him, he's a great guy. And I met him over at the Orange Blossom Opry back home in Wearsdale and Ocala. I'm kind of all over Florida. I'm in the Villages, and
Good
I'm
for
in
you.
Wearsdale and Ocala, and
I spent a lot of time in Florida at one point in my life.
It's a great place.
Yeah.
I mean, the heat's not the greatest thing, but you know, you deal with it. But
right.
I met him over there, and then we came up here a couple of trips back, and we got to see him again and catch up, and he put together a band for us here, and we have
That's
that
great.
for 3rd and Lindsley, and I'm really excited.
Have you played say you played 3rd and Lindsley? Or are you getting ready to?
I'm getting ready to.
Okay.
But I'm really excited for that show. I've been to 3rd and Lindsley, and I've seen the show. It's great, and
So have you played any of the downtown clubs yet?
not for like a full show, but I've sang a couple of songs over at Whiskey Bent for a show for CMA, and then a couple of months back I got to play over at Margaritaville, and I played a couple of songs over there. I played a set
Made
there.
it into Tootsie's yet?
No, I haven't.
You'll get there.
Hopefully.
Oh, you will. You will, no doubt.
Yeah.
Well, Emma, it's been great to talk
It's been
with
great
you,
to talk with
and
you as well.
wish you all the great
Thank you so
success
much.
in the world.
Thank you.
Know that you're welcome here anytime. And what we'll do with this piece right here is we'll make you a link that we can send to you, and then that
Awesome.
way you can put it on your website.
That'd be awesome.
And show people what we do in Tullahomes, Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Awesome.
Thank you, dear. Appreciate you
Thank
being
you.
with us, and we'll see you probably in a couple of weeks. We want to see you back
Hopefully.
in here, okay?
Awesome.
Because we want to hear that voice.
Yeah.
Can you give me just a little bit without a guitar?
Yeah, I can.
Give me something right here. You go and take us out with a chorus.
What would you like to hear?
I
A
don't
little
know.
Elvis Presley?
Anything you want.
Leanne Rimes?
It's you.
Actually, in July, I'm releasing one of my favorite Elvis Presley songs, Can't Help Falling in Love, and I'm excited for that, so I can do that.
Sure. Go ahead.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you.
And they can't help falling in love with you. We'll see you soon, sweetheart.
awesome.
Thank you. Emma, we'll be right back after these messages.
This place, where you grew up, where your memories were made, and where your dreams were born, where your neighbors stop to say hello, and where you're always welcome to stay a while, where your Fridays are spent under the lights, and where Saturdays are made for the water, where you can feel good about a hard day's work and take pride in a job well done, where small business makes a big impact, and home is always a sight for sore eyes. And where the best things in life, well, the best things in life are the little things. Tullahoma Utilities Authority. Power in community.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department need you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Come on. Yeah. Come on. Yeah.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size.
Yeah.
Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and I'm so excited to have one of my favorite people in Tullahoma on the show today, Miss Kat Murray. And she's here to talk about promoting her 18th. His story told by her.
Yep, we're here again. We're here again. We're so excited because we are doing it to raise funds for the Fair Playground. Get some equipment for the new school, you know, and get some new fun stuff out there for the kids. They
are absolutely recreating that school over there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And you're gonna whatever the show makes is going to go to buy playground equipment, and you can't have a new everything and have old playground equipment.
Well, they have some that they're between the school and and everything.
Yeah.
So we just want to get them something that's different.
Now, who's this good-looking
This is
young lady
Katera.
sitting next to you?
This is Katera. We call her Cat 2 in the show.
Cat 2?
Yes, she's Cat 2. And so when she was 3, she came and we sang Man in the Mirror for about, 4 years?
I remember that.
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
So
I think I emceed that
You
show.
did, and that was already 12 years ago, because she's...
Only 12 years ago?
She's 15 now. Yeah.
So she's a young lady now.
Yeah, so now she's a dancer. She's been dancing in the last few shows.
And if for people who have not seen this show, this woman right here can transform herself into Michael Jackson for you if you'll just close your eyes for a little while and let her, because she does that music as good as anybody can.
Thank you.
And what's so wonderful about it is you have a dance team that's always worked with you, and there's usually anywhere from 6 to 12 depending on
and this year we
the
have
year.
11. It just depends
11
on how many
this
can
time?
make it. 11, and there's 2 that's been in it since first grade, and they are turning 21 this year.
And some of them will step up and sing from time to time, maybe, and do special stuff with you.
Yes, and every year I tell people, if you've seen the show once, you've seen the show once, because every year we come up with surprises stuff, and we do a new thing for Thriller every other show. So this is the new Thriller. We don't give any secrets away. So if you think you've seen our Thriller, you got to come to this one.
Well, I'll tell you what, you liable to see hobgoblins, ghouls, ghosts.
We did Ghostbusters last
live
time.
Carrot. You never can tell what Cat's gonna pull.
Exactly. This year we're moving it to the high school. There's a show already at South Jackson, so we're moving it to the high school. It's July 12th.
Sure.
All the tickets, I left them at $15. That way people can afford, with everything that's going on, people can afford the tickets.
For sure.
Yeah, and and they're available at the shop because it's for the school, so there's really no way for the school to, have a
Make
space to sell the or no one's really there right now, so that's one of the things.
So they can come by your shop.
Yes, Tuesday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. And I'm kind of asking everybody to get their tickets in advance, and one of the reasons is because we print programs, and I don't like to overprint, because I like to give all the money that we can.
That's an expense that doesn't go to the playground.
Exactly. So if you think you're going to the show, you come on down and get a ticket. But if you find out that night, I can come to the show. You need to come, because it's a night where you go to concerts and you're sitting there and you're trying to sing to yourself. No, you belt them out this show.
Yeah,
you sing,
that's right.
You
that's
sing
right.
every song that you know, every song that you don't know. If you clap your hands, get in the aisle and sing, do the moonwalk. Whatever, we don't care.
And the costuming. The costuming is always been incredible.
Yeah, we do
and
it.
And the thing about it is, I emceed it for you for, I don't know, 5, 6 times maybe. The story that the narrator tells.
Keely Bill's going to do it for us this time. Keely Bill, she's going to narrate.
Oh, Keely's doing it this time? Good.
Yeah, we try to break it up.
But the story that the narrator tells leads you into some of the parts of Michael Jackson's life that gives you keys to why this music came out and what some of the reasons why it was written and some of the things that were done to make it happen. And I enjoyed reading the script as much as, I mean, I felt like I was a real part of the show because it is explaining what's happening up there.
And do you know who helped me write that?
His story.
Melissa Shahan helped me write that the very first show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she wrote a whole lot of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So, well, we want everybody to go, and it's at the high school. When is that?
July 12th. That's a Saturday.
July 12th. So that's,
yes, coming up. We're ready though, kind of, right?
We're ready.
Now,
We're ready.
you're not singing anymore. You just dancing.
Yes, sir.
Just dancing.
Just
All right.
dancing.
You got some good gals and guys out there with you dancing?
Yes, sir.
So
Always.
I bet y'all put a show on, don't you?
Always.
Huh?
Oh.
Very good, very good. Well,
We
Kat,
make it happen.
thanks for coming in. And
Thank you, and I appreciate
And you
it.
just sit here and you do anything you want to do right now. You know, if you want to promote more. If you want to get up and leave, get up and leave.
Well,
It's
I
up
do
to you.
want to promote more because, like I said, this is a fundraiser.
Sure.
And fundraiser means you as a person are helping someone. And that's what I try to tell these kids. That's what they're not kids anymore. I'm going to have to call them young people.
There you go.
Because if you know.
But you still have some little ones, don't you?
No, they're all big.
Oh, you
I think our youngest one is.
Recruited in any other little ones?
No, not yet. I think our youngest one is Kennedy.
Yeah.
And I believe she's probably in 8th grade.
Eighth grade?
Mm-hmm. So we just have to get some more, but we
So
just.
there's no little Weisenheimers running
No,
around?
and, and Andrew's.
Yeah, but they're fun.
I know, Andrew's going to be a senior.
Control them.
Yeah.
Like herding cats.
But that's why we have Cat 1 and Cat 2.
There you go.
But yeah, so I just like everybody to come out and enjoy the show. It's a family event. There's 2 times that I have people come up on the stage.
I was getting ready to ask that.
Yeah,
You still have
we're
your
still
guest
doing that.
appearances.
Yeah, and D'Angelo will be there.
D'Angelo will be there. And how many years is this for him?
18. He's done every show.
He's done every show. That's what I thought.
Yeah, he'll be there. Then I can't tell you too many other things.
Don't let the bird out the bag.
We're sworn to secrecy. There's just a lot of new stuff that's going to happen, and we're just very, very excited to.
Well, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you, and I'm excited for the school.
Yeah. Well, that's my frog, so.
They're the frogs,
I'm gonna do what I can for them.
Will there be a frog?
Well, see, I
You
can't.
ain't telling. You can't tell, can
you? I can't
Can't
tell you.
tell. All right. So that's on the 12th at Tullahoma High School
7 o'clock.
Auditorium. Huh?
7 p.m.
7 p.m.
One show only, so don't
show
say,
only.
I'll go to the next one.
And it's only $15. It's not $30. It's $50 worth of entertainment.
Oh, it's way more than that. We
more than
worked on
that.
this show for 3 months.
And so,
3
but for
months.
$15, you come in there, and particularly if you're a frog family.
Exactly.
If
I
your
was going to
children
say
are at
that.
fair school, you show up because that money that you're dropping is going to give that kid a better piece of playground equipment.
Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly. What you got, Katera?
Were you a frog?
I just put her on the spot. No.
Was she a frog?
I just put her on the spot.
Huh? Was she a frog?
No, she's from Franklin County, right? Yeah.
We ain't going to hold that against you.
Oh.
They're good folks over there. Good folks over there. Remember, the 12th, Tullahoma High School, his story told by her.
A tribute
to Michael Jackson. Tribute to Michael Jackson by Kat Murray, and it's the 18th time that this wonderful lady has stepped on stage with her cast of wonderful stars to raise money for something good in Tullahoma, Tennessee.
Well, thank you, John.
My friend that's done as many good deeds in this town as anybody I know, thank you so much for what you do and what you continue to do. And with that said, we'll be back after these messages.
I want to invite y'all to come by Clayton's, downtown Tullahoma. We try to serve the community, the area, and we try to help people with their feet and comfortable shoes. We still measure feet. We have a great new arch mat. We have insoles. Please come see us at Clayton's and let me help you find some comfortable shoes for those achy feet.
We're gonna pick your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna pick your style.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
STEM is everywhere, like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with trisodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that can be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker boards.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at shecanstem.com.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop with Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration, your #1 hometown HVAC company. We offer dependable and reliable service on all your HVAC equipment. We also offer high-efficiency trained cooling units. Call us for your cooling needs. Your comfort is what we do.
It's summer, call Stroop.
Gracie and Pedro might not get along so well.
They're standing on my tail.
But there's one thing they agree on. There's a right seat for everyone.
Oh, that's the good stuff.
Whether you're a dog,
Hold on, Pooch.
a cat, a fish, or a rat.
And I'm a ferret.
Be sure to travel safe.
How can you be so sure?
I'm absolutely positive.
On your next adventure, make sure your children are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at NHTSA.gov/the right seat.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and you know, today, usually a lot of times we'll have Jawing with Jackie on the show, and today what we're going to do is we're going to jaw with Jackie, but it's through his presentation at the Juneteenth celebration that was had last week, and we're going to go right now to Mr. Lyle Russell to introduce Jackie Duncan.
My name is Lyle Russell, and I am the Community Engagement Officer for the City of Tullahoma. And there are two important dates that have led us here today. And the first one is December 31st, 1862. It was known at the time as Freedom's Eve, where many enslaved and freed African Americans held what they called watch night services, where they would gather in churches and private homes, awaiting a very highly anticipated document that was coming from the president's desk. That very next day, January 1st, was the day that the Emancipation Proclamation had taken effect. And so at the stroke of midnight on that date, prayers were answered, as all enslaved people in the Confederate States were declared legally free. Union soldiers would march onto plantations in different places around the South, spreading small copies of the Emancipation Proclamation and the news of freedom. Now, even though that document became effective on January 1st, 1863, the saying that news travels fast did not exist yet. Communication in that era, was very different than it is today, than what we are used to. And so for many, especially in the Western Confederate territories, not everyone knew what had happened with that proclamation. So it was not until June 19th, the second date of 1865, 160 years ago today, that the enslaved in the Confederate state of Texas would hear the news that that document was now law. On this date so many years ago, approximately 2,000 troops from the Union Army arrived in Galveston Bay, Texas, to share the announcement that up to 250,000 enslaved peoples in that area were free by executive decree. This day became known as Juneteenth by the newly freed people in Texas. My role with the City of Tullahoma is in communication, and I cannot think of a more striking story that shows how important communication is. There are many in our nation today, as we have this event, that do not understand why Juneteenth is celebrated. And to me, that just boils down to one simple thing, and that's communication. So I'm grateful for this opportunity to welcome you today on behalf of the City of Tullahoma and the Tullahoma Parks and Recreation for our small yet significant marking of the holiday of Juneteenth. And it is my great pleasure to introduce you to our MC for today's event, Mr. Thomas Davis.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your MC for the day, Mr. Thomas Davis. I am a native of Tullahoma, even though I reside in Murfreesboro right now. But I've been in Murfreesboro since 2004, but my heart always is with Tullahoma. So before we first start the program, I'd like to get a word of prayer, if y'all don't mind. Pastor Crutchfield, would you mind leading us in a word of prayer? Would all stand, please?
Let us pray. Eternal God, our Heavenly Father, we come today, Lord, with a spirit of thanksgiving. Thank you for watching over us, O Lord, and allowing us to gather together on this day. We thank you for the blessings that have been bestowed upon us. We ask now, Lord, that you just watch over this program, that you will bless and be with every speaker and everything that's done, that will bring glory and honor unto you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Before we get started and get into our speakers, we're also going to have a nice poem by Mr. Jackie Duncan.
Thank you, sir. I didn't know I was going to be first on program, but that's good enough for me. Being here is good enough for me. This shirt, I want to highlight this. This shirt is my shirt from this school when this was a school. Back years ago. This was the former Davidson Academy School, and began in 1898. And it was a blessing all my life. I spent 12 years here. My last year was the last year. There was 1 year after my class that graduated from here before the school was closed. But we were having a reunion every year, up until every couple of years, at least, and before COVID hit. And then COVID, of course, kind of put a damper on everything. And then we all got old, and they're starting to fade out pretty quick now. But we were blessed. This was a blessing, this school was for us. That Professor Stampson's picture in there on the wall, and I can't help but think that he'd be proud of us right now, that especially his students, that he knew that he tried to encourage, and that's one of the things that each one of us, I think, as parents, now we need to encourage our children more. I see less of that. Seems like this day and age, seems like Facebook is encouraging them more than anything, but we need, as parents, need to encourage them more. There are things that need to be passed down from generation to generation. The love, first and foremost, family love, and to the things that draw us together, the traditions of family traditions and things that happen in our lives. History, and I'm working on history now for a lot of things. I'm working on Davidson Academy history, my church history, my family history, the association, Elk River District Association history, which is an organization in Winchester, Shelbyville, Tullahoma, all these areas combined. That the organization was formed 158 years ago. So we've got a lot of history that we don't even know about, that we're trying to uncover. And I'm trying to work on all this, and time's running out on me, but, I'm looking for someone, younger people, to pass these things on to. And we talked about the Davidson Academy tradition we're going to pass on down. Next group younger than us, younger than me, in fact, but we're going to work on this very soon. But there are some things that just need passing down from generation to generation, and I'm afraid we might not be reaching the goal on that right now. We need to think about that. Love your children. Tell them tell them stories about family, tell them things that they need to know in life, to encourage them, to bless them. And that brought this little poem about. I was asked to do a poem. Brother Steve asked me about a poem, and I didn't mean to take all this time to say, to get up to the poem, but just to it. But there are some things that just need to be said, and there are opportunities that happen that make themselves available to you. The opportunity is available right now just to say something, and I'm just blessed to be able to say it. But this little poem that I wrote some time ago, it's from my book of poetry. This is a little book that I wrote several years ago. It's called Living on Purpose, The Poetry of Life. And it's a great little book of inspirational poetry, completely, totally inspirational poetry. And this little poem in here is like a child, your child coming to you. We discourage our children a lot of times and we don't realize it. You know, your child comes up and says, I want to be this, I want to be president of this great organization, I want to be a football star, I want to be whatever else, and we tell them, no, you can't. Oh, try for something a little less than that, you know, that you can't do that and all this. Don't tell a child what they cannot do. You know, God put something in all of us, and we all are blessed with a gift that we were given from the very beginning. Somebody is president right now, somebody is president of corporations, and I shouldn't have said president to start off, but president of corporations and big things that we never would have dreamed of. And well, somebody's got to do these jobs, and they're there, and we just want our children to be available, you know, let them know that they can do it, you know, whatever, and encourage them. And so this little poem I wrote several years ago. It's in my book. The book is called Living on Purpose, The Poetry of Life. And the poem is called Don't Discourage Me. When you tell your child there's something they cannot do, you're discouraging them. So I wrote this poem from a child's point of view that comes back and tells you, perhaps, don't discourage me. Says, please don't tell me what I can or cannot do, nor what I can or cannot be. The seeds to do things never done lie wait inside of me. Don't tell me that my goal's too high. I'm climbing, can't you see? Negative talk impedes my growth. Please don't discourage me. Unbridled minds full of ideas to conquer the world, it would seem, are convinced each day by discouraging souls to give up on their dream. Don't predict my future by things you do not know. Guide me, direct me, help me so I'll grow. Speak love and inspiration. Tell me all that I can be. Correct me if you will, but don't discourage me. God bless you.
This place, where you grew up, where your memories were made, and where your dreams were born, where your neighbors stop to say hello, and where you're always welcome to stay a while, where your Fridays are spent under the lights, and where Saturdays are made for the water, where you can feel good about a hard day's work and take pride in a job well done, where small business makes a big impact, and home is always a sight for sore eyes. And where the best things in life, well, the best things in life are the little things. Tullahoma Utilities Authority. Power in community.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
For many senior citizens, life looks like this.
But it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop with Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration, your #1 hometown HVAC company. We offer dependable and reliable service on all your HVAC equipment. We also offer high-efficiency trained cooling units. Call us for your cooling needs. Your comfort is what we do.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
Had to be moon glow, way up in the blue. It must have been the moon glow that led me straight to you. I remember you saying, darling, please hold me fast. That's when I started praying, oh Lord, please let this last. We seem to float right through the air. Heavenly music seemed to come from everywhere. So now when there's moon glow, way up in the blue, I thank heaven for the moon glow that led me straight to you. Thank you so much, folks. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry.
Oh, my pleasure.
Oh, this
Thank
is
you so
Dr.
much.
Jerry Anderson, sometimes a chiropractor,
Yeah,
right?
I'm mostly
above all,
retired. Yeah,
a vocalist and a musician, and he is the male vocalist for the South Jackson Street Band, and we are going to be performing at Centennial Park.
July the 19th.
At 7 o'clock.
Free concert.
No, the dance class is at 7.
Yeah,
and we
dance is
play
at 7.
7:30.
That's correct, yeah.
All free. There'll be food trucks and everything around, so you can come and eat. And
Usually a lot of fun.
I guess bring a chair if you want to.
Yep. It's going to be outside if the weather's good. They have provisions to have us inside if it should rain. So.
That's a new thing. They haven't done that before.
Right. But anyway, it's a lot of fun.
So how long have you been singing?
I hate to say it's no, actually.
You have the number of years, but did you start in high school?
No, not really. I hit 40, and I thought, if I don't start singing now, I never will. And well, it was a combination of things. Actually, I heard about a Tai Chi class that was happening here in Tullahoma,
Right.
and I decided to attempt that. And that gave me the confidence to do something I feared worse than skydiving, and that was a dance, dance lessons. I must have had a hex on me or something, but anyway, I went to Nashville to take dance at the Arthur Murray studio in case I made such a fool of myself. I wouldn't have to move to another state, change my name, and start all over. But anyway, that created a great role reversal with my wife, Terry, who was formerly always trying to get me to dance. And I really didn't like improvised dancing. And so when I got a little bit of structure there, it was, come on, honey, let's dance. She was, no, no, no. But anyway, we went to hear South Jackson Street Band at the invitation of late Carter Church, God rest him. And I heard you sing, and I heard South Jackson Street Band. I thought, wow, this is a great group. And Brian Guest was the trumpet extraordinaire and
the leader
at the time and everything. And I became acquainted with Brian by way of an accident that worked out okay. But at any rate, I called him up one day and said, Brian, I think I'd like to try to sing with the big band. And he said, Jerry, have you ever done this before? And I said, well, no. And he said, you think you can? I said, well, yeah, my wife says I'm really good. And, well, why don't you get with our female vocalist, who's a great voice teacher, Peggy Burton, and let her check you out. And if she thinks it's okay, well, all right. So we got together, and I love Ralph, your husband, late husband Ralph. He was there on hand to make sure I wasn't some kind of a...
He was your biggest fan, because he loved Frank Sinatra.
Oh, man, we hit it off so well. But anyway, you said, well, Jerry, you got a pretty good range. I think you can do this. So we arranged to get together with South Jackson Street Band, and I'm going to sit right down and write myself a letter.
Yeah.
And it worked. Not long after that, we did New York, New York. And
I love that. I was hoping you'd have time to sing that today.
Oh, it's one of my favorites.
You'll have to come back and sing that.
Well, yeah, we can. I know we're a little crowded on time today, but at any rate, that's sort of how it got started, and it's been great. But another thing that I love to remember, I was telling Ralph, I wonder if the band would let me play yakety sax with them sometime,
I remember that.
Yeah, we were practicing in McMinnville, and Brian says, hey, let's humor Jerry. He wants to play yakety sax. And it went very well.
And you just picked, that's what's so amazing. You just picked up the saxophone, and you hadn't really studied the saxophone, had you?
Very little. But I had a little bit of elementary instruction years ago, but it's sort of like a lot of the other guys, you have to teach yourself. And I met a saxophonist of some fame in Murfreesboro, Phil Kinsey, I think his name is, who played with the Rolling Stones and the Beatles on a couple of albums. And just informally talking to him for half an hour a couple of different times, as we were getting some horn maintenance done, that guy was amazing.
And
he was tremendously helpful. Oh, yeah. But anyway, I told him I'd ordered a Bobby Dukoff mouthpiece for the horn. He said, well, what opening? I said, I think it's a 9. A 9? He said, I don't know if I can get a squeak out of a 9. I thought, oh, no. Well, anyway, it arrived, and I loved it.
And you learned to play, which is enough to suit yourself.
Yeah.
You can accompany yourself some, and you do a great job, by the way.
Thank you so much. If we've got some tracks or something that I can play along with, I may sing, sort of like we did at the opening of the show, sing and play a riff here or there.
Well, you do a great job, and I'm so happy to have you today, and I'm sorry we don't have a lot of time, but I want to give a shout out for the South Jackson Street Band, because it's so important to me to keep musicians in a group playing their songs.
Peggy, let me add this real quick to underscore the importance of outfits like the South Jackson Street Band. Our friends, Jack,
I think we're going to have to go.
Okay.
We're going to have you back, and we'll talk about that. Thank you, Jerry. I love you.
My pleasure so
coming.
much. Thank you.
This place, where you grew up, where your memories were made, and where your dreams were born, where your neighbors stop to say hello, and where you're always welcome to stay a while, where your Fridays are spent under the lights, and where Saturdays are made for the water, where you can feel good about a hard day's work and take pride in a job well done, where small business makes a big impact, and home is always a sight for sore eyes. And where the best things in life, well, the best things in life are the little things. Tullahoma Utilities Authority. Power in community.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department, need you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street, heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and Peggy, we have had one full show today, haven't we?
We did. Lots of everything from Broadway to what?
To Jawing with Jackie.
I know.
And from a different location.
And that was a great speech he made.
Yeah.
And Juneteenth went well.
Juneteenth, and so we want everybody to remember the 4th of July celebration. And Kat Murray, the 18th time of doing that show that she does to raise money.
I think she'll probably fill the house.
I'll guarantee you she's probably raised over $100,000 since she started doing it.
Yeah, she has given a lot to this community.
A lot of money. Well, we have to say goodbye. Stay cool out there. It's going to get hot. It's going to stay hot for a while. And you just hydrate yourself and have fun. And go to the swimming pool. Bye. Next time.